Lutz is at the movies. Ain't Susu what's he mean?
He's got one foot in the frying pan and one in the pressure cooker. Believe me, as a bowler, I know that right about now, your bladder feels like an overstuffed vacuum cleaner bag, and your butt is kind of like an about to explode bratwurst.
Hey, you mind? I wasn't talking when you were bowling.
Was I talking out loud?
Welcome to Munsons at the Movies. My name is Kyle. I will once again be your host. Joined by the rest of the Munsons. Want to give them a wide berth.
What is called a born loser. A real Munson.
And talk a little bit about what's going on in their worlds. This time we'll start with Coach Aubrey.
Yeah, basketball season is back, but we're not talking about that because I watched a bunch of movies from 2025. So since the last time we recorded, I watched Who Killed the Montreal Expos on Netflix. Watch it. It's a vanity project. House of Dynamite on Netflix. As Josh said, Josh Outing, who came on here, it's the scariest movie of the year and incredible. Sorry Baby is on HBO Max, and it's pretty good if you like slow-paced, introspective type drama comedy. Begonia is wildly interesting, and I haven't stopped thinking about it. Predator Badlands is fire, and Nuremberg might be the best movie I've seen this year.
Really?
That's a lot. You saw it.
Nuremberg is so good. I mean, it fits up my specific alley. It's basically a courtroom drama. Russell Crowe should get nominated for an Oscar. He's so good at it.
Aubrey, I saw two of those. Loved Begonia, and I enjoyed Predator Badlands.
So you were all in on Begonia all the way to the credits?
I know what I'm getting into with a Yorgos Lanthimos film. I also know that James would not love that film.
I also know what I'm getting into with his films, and that's why I don't get into it.
That's why you don't go. Wrong theater.
It helps. For the first hour and 45 minutes, he doesn't do any Yorgos Lanthimos things.
The first half, I go, oh, this is like very clever. I love what he's doing here. And then the second half, it's him with like a Bugs Bunny cartoon mallet hitting me over the head with his point. And then I'm like, all right, I don't want to watch this anymore.
James, what about you? Your world?
This week, how we say, I got a little shitty situation popped up here, reaping what I sow, if you will. I'm in a fantasy football league with my buddies from high school, and they are trash. I've whooped them 2 years in a row to be champion. And one of the cool things our league does is whoever scores the lowest points that week, we have a punishment wheel. And we spin the wheel, and whatever it lands on, the person who scored the least amount of points has to do it. Now, all these men weren't in fraternities, and that's important to note because in their mind, the pinnacle of a punishment is being forced to chug a beer. And I know that that's actually a treat to be enjoyed, and it's not a true punishment.
The Imperial Special.
That's right. These guys yearn for beer chugs, and the only way you can change the punishments on the wheel is if you become champion. And so I won 2 years ago, and the first thing I did was I made my punishment that if anyone lands on it, they have to do the Charlie XCX Apple TikTok dance and record it. And they all hated it. And then I won again, and I just added it again. So now there's double the chances that these almost 40-year-old men have to do this TikTok dance. And it's hilarious until I landed on it this week. And so now I am reaping what I sow. And I got to pull this dance off. And so I'm practicing. I'm going to crush it, obviously. I'm not going to half-ass this. It does stink to have to do this and become the poster child for this dance because I'm going to crush it. And they're obviously going to all remember it, mostly for me.
A lot going on.
Two follow-up questions. One, what's your timeline for when you have to complete this? So what's the practice look like? And two, will we get a chance to see this video once it's live, or is this exclusive OnlyFans content?
I'll share it with you as well. You have to do it before kickoff Sunday.
Good luck. Coach Case, how about you?
Well, I've got a lot more, I guess, depressing movie news than Aubrey had. AMC has changed the Nicole Kidman commercials.
What?
Yep. It coincided when I was bragging about how awesome that intro was and how somehow heartbreak feels good in a place like this. Gone. Ever since that episode, gone. So I guess I also feel a little guilty.
That sucks. That actually sucked to hear, to be honest.
Bad news.
How would they get rid of it?
I don't know.
Some bullshit marketing person was like, we don't have to do this anymore.
Well, they were getting hammered because of how long the previews were. But I would rather watch Nicole Kidman say something I've heard her say 1,000 times than some trash movie I'm never going to watch.
My world, I just have a question for James. publicly. Do we know yet if Aaron Boone's going to show up in these Epstein files that are leaking all over the place today, /tomorrow, who knows by the time this thing drops what the world's going to know about?
If he doesn't, I really hope that Luigi Mangione is found innocent and he's also a diehard Yankee fan.
Oh, Lord. Well, pardons are flying these days, so you never know what could happen. I'm coming out of like a 4-day conference. Feel like I'm recovering in every way possible. We've got a wonderful guest with us. We've got a really interesting actor to talk about, and that brings me a lot of joy. So we're excited to welcome back Cori Wallace to the podcast. Cori is still a 12-year-old latchkey kid with beyond basic cable, that's in quotes, in an adult woman's body. She once set her alarm at 3 a.m. to get up and watch the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, spooky season official. Please don't tell her parents. She prefers to date guys who watch at least 3 movies a week, loves a good deep dive or think piece, and is a fan of this podcast. Cori previously joined us for the Natasha Lyonne, Aubrey Plaza, Tyler Perry, Dakota Johnson, Lucy Liu, and Kristen Wiig episodes. The Lyonne episode is still our most popular ever in terms of streams, downloads. The Lyonne fans found it, or Cori's fan base found it, and it blew up. There's a Venn diagram there.
Yep.
So welcome back, Cori, and what's going on in your world?
Do I get a jacket?
Yeah, like a Hall of Fame jacket.
Like a gold jacket, like Shooter McGavin and Happy Gilmore?
Yes. Like an SNL jacket? Take your pick. Do I get a jacket? Do I get a keychain?
You deserve one.
A stress ball?
All of those.
It's gotta be a bowling shirt, right?
Access to your Shutter account would work. I still have not seen Babadook, so it's time for me to fix that.
Oh, man.
Babadook will be my jacket.
I respect the hustle. I don't think you understand the budget we have here.
Okay, we'll negotiate. I'm pleased to be back. Thanks for letting me back in your clubhouse. It's always fun to be here.
Glad to have you back.
What's going on in my world? I watched The Roof Man, the most flawed hero film I've seen in a minute. Drags a little bit, but I'm glad I watched it. It was a very interesting approach to a caper film.
You spent what I would assume is the better part of 3 weeks crushing Oliver Platt. You're going to get back to Shudder to watch the Babadook after this. But for now, let's rock and roll. Let's talk some Oliver Platt. Happy to have you back. Birthday is November 20th. We've got 2 on the docket today. Andrea Riseborough, known for Oscar-nominated actress, known for projects like Birdman, Oblivion, To Leslie, that was their Oscar-nominated role, Possessor, Mandy, Black Mirror, The Death of Stalin, one of my personal favorites, Nocturnal Animals, Disconnect, and the remake of The Grudge. How old is Andrea Riseborough?
In Oblivion, she's the woman that's at his headquarters, right?
I've never seen it.
Oh, it's good. There was a while there where everyone was sleeping on Tom Cruise sci-fi movies for some reason. I enjoyed Oblivion.
It's got good ratings. She's a very talented actress. That's what I will say.
I got no clue what you're talking about, so I'm going to take a very safe 32.
You're on the right track, Case, but she's not a day over 24.
I feel like you guys are just undershooting it. Again, just going based off of Oblivion being that old. You're 40.
I mean, I was trying to Google her, so I'm going to do 31.
That's called cheating.
It is totally cheating.
You're all very nice. Everybody is under, which I appreciate. But the only one that's relatively close is James with his 40 guess because she's turning 44. So James wins that one.
Folks, this is why I got good grades in school despite having ADD. I'm incredible at taking tests. I don't know the knowledge. I just know how to beat the test.
Next up, and last one for the night, we have Bo Derek. It was a rough day for birthdays. Known for Bolero, Ghost Can't Do It, Tommy Boy, Tarzan the Ape Man, her big hit in 10 from 1979, and Malibu's Most Wanted, and a whole bunch of stuff I'd never heard of. How old is Bo Derek?
Icon, Bo Derek.
No idea who she is in Malibu's Most Wanted. All I know of her is that famous picture where she's got the braids.
That's from 10.
Yeah.
70s.
I need you guys to stop saying the 70s so I can have a decent amount of time in between that and my guess.
She's 60 years old.
Give me 55.
Derek is 68 years old.
That sounds way too
I'm assuming
accurate. You're cheating.
I'm assuming you guys were saying those movies were set in the 70s, and she's no older than 31.
I hope she hears this, bro.
Aubrey, that is a good scaled guess, and I appreciate that about you. Cori was pretty good. Not quite perfect, but she is turning 69, so Cori takes that one. Otherwise, I don't really have any birthdays for you. It's Joe Biden's birthday, November 20th. It's my brother's birthday, but they don't really apply to this podcast. So happy birthday to Andrea and Bo and anybody else who happens to have a birthday on November 20th. We threw 5 actors onto the wheel for this episode. They were Elizabeth Banks, Charlotte Rampling, J.B. Smoove, and Vin Diesel, and much to maybe the misdirection that people felt thinking Cori would go with Elizabeth Banks, kind of threw everybody for a curveball here.
Yeah, it did.
The wheel selected Oliver Platt, and Cori said, let's do it. Let's talk Oliver Platt. So he's got 98 credits, 1 producing credit, and a lot of theater. We're going to get into the nitty-gritty with Oliver. We'll talk about the highs, the lows, the things we love, the things we maybe don't love as much. Personal life, on and off screen, on and off stage, anything in between we think is worth noting. But before we do that, we always start with a little actor trivia. Let's see if James can stump us Fast and Furious style.
So, Cori, at this point, you got your Hall of Famer jacket. You know the rules here. But for anyone at home who does not know the rules, I'm about to read off 3 facts, 2 of which are going to be true about Oliver Platt, our man of the hour. One of which is not going to be true about Oliver Platt, but is going to be true about one of the many illustrious cast members of the Fast and Furious franchise. Everyone here is going to have to guess which one that is. Fact number 1. His grandfather served as the U.S. ambassador to the United Kingdom under President Jimmy Carter. Fact number 2. He got his first film role after attending his cousin's Christmas party where he met their neighbor, a famous actor by the name Bill Murray. After Murray came to see him perform in a play, was impressed and recommended him for a role. Fact number 3, he is the second cousin once removed of Princess Diana.
Come on. Pretty sure I have this one right again. James, I am winning this game, right? I've gotten the most correct.
Yeah, when I look at the scoreboard, I think you're number 1.
Ooh, define winning, because in my playbook, I'm winning. I've said the most rappers, so that's how that's not what we're supposed to be doing?
Depends what scoreboard you're playing towards. James, we're going to build on my lead tonight with this one. And it actually works into yours, Aubrey. I believe that fact number 1 is the lie. And that's about entertainment icon 50 Cent. I'm not sure if he's in any Fast and Furious movies. If not, he should be.
He's in other movies.
Yeah, that's right. Because the reason I'm using him is because I learned a wild fact about him today as it relates to one of Oliver Platt's movies. It's not related to Oliver Platt, but it's related to this movie. I feel like that has to be the answer tonight.
Curtis Jackson. Love it. His trash talk of Floyd Mayweather is one of the all-time great things.
Dude.
You can read a page from a Harry Potter book.
One of the funniest comments I saw under that was, all right, I kind of get why you got shot 9 times, though.
Now, I got to weave a web here. I got it, though. So I know that James pays attention to battle rap. This is a big time for battle rap these past couple weeks. Legendary battle rapper and once signed Young Money rapper Jay Mills got into a beef with some battle rappers, and it was great. And in the same era of battle rap as Jay Mills was MC Jen, who I think is the answer, and it is clearly fact number 3.
I'm going to go with number 1. I think that's the lie.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of a good joke, and I can't think of one, and I recognize you probably watch just as much Rich Eisen on YouTube that I do, and so I'm fairly confident that all 3 of these are true about Oliver Platt, because the dude is fascinating AF.
Well, I can confirm that Kyle's wrong. It was Elliot Ness who Jay Mills battled during making Da Band. That sticks out so much to me in my head. No one guessed the Princess Diana thing, which is fascinating. You guys were immediately like, yeah, it was probably true. He is the second cousin once removed of Princess Diana. That is true. Princess Diana is the great-granddaughter of James Roche, and Platt is his great-great-grandson. They have different, obviously, grandparents, but that makes him second cousin once removed. By extension, that means he's the third cousin of Prince William. He admits he never met Princess Diana, but his family was invited to the royal wedding by a cousin when he was in college. And Princess Diana's mom was so embarrassed that these hillbilly white trash Americans were invited to the same party that Elton John was going to be at, that they were formally disinvited to the wedding, which is also hilarious.
That's awesome.
Yeah, the cousin felt bad, so she flew him out to visit London, hang out, and meet everyone. but he didn't attend because he was in college, and he now regrets that. Fact number 2, he got his first film role after attending his cousin's Christmas party, where he met their neighbor, young famous actor by the name of Bill Murray. And Bill Murray got him his first role after being impressed by his acting in a play he was in, which is true. Platt got his first agent when he was working at a place called the Manhattan Punchline Theater. He met Murray at his cousin's Christmas party, since they just happened to be neighbors. Murray attended his show, was so impressed he actually recommended Platt to director Jonathan Demme, who casted him in a small role and called Married to the Mob. And Platt fully attributes his breakthrough to appearing in the Punchline Theater. And fact number 1, his grandfather served as the U.S. ambassador to the United Kingdom under President Jimmy Carter. So follow me on this journey. Platt's great-great-grandfather was appointed to be the U.S. ambassador in the United Kingdom, but that wouldn't be back with President William McKinley. So that's pretty fucking long ago. His father was the U.S. ambassador to Zambia, the Philippines. That was both under Ronald Reagan, and then the ambassador to Pakistan, which was under George H. And if you know anything about international history, that is a tough time to be the ambassador to Pakistan.
Yeah.
However, his grandfather was just an architect, unlike Jordana Brewster, whose grandfather served as the U.S. ambassador to the United Kingdom under President Jimmy Carter. Jordana Brewster is most famously known for playing Mia Toretto in the Fast and Furious, Fast 5, Fast and Furious 6, Furious 7, F9, and Fast X.
And Hard Eyes.
I'm pretty sure I caught her in one of the Oliver Platt films too, somewhere along the way.
I said most famously known for, and
not most recently known for. Okay, that's my bad.
That's correct.
Oh, yeah.
Not 50 Cent, huh? That's surprising to me.
50 Cent being the second cousin once removed of Princess Diana, I think would be the most shocking fact I'd ever heard in my life.
All right, James, appreciate you. Case, what do we got for Snapshot and box office?
Oliver Platt's been in a lot of movies. That's where we're going to start. He occupies a pretty unique space on our roster of performers in that he's in a ton of movies that you definitely recognize. And then when you see a movie that he's in, like Flatliners, I think was one for me where I'm like, oh, that's right, Oliver Platt is in that. And so you remember him being in a bunch of things. But he's not really the driving force in either the box office or how the films are received in most of the movies. We have a lot of actors that way, but I think he's a little bit more notable and memorable than a lot of our other ones. Let's just start with the numbers and go from there. Average budget, he ranks 87th out of 127 with a $29.4 million average budget. Box office, he's 48th, $3.4 billion. Star meter comes in at 93, ranking 1,893. The critic rank and fan ranking were a lot lower than I thought they were going to be. Critic rank, he's 74 with 54.1%. Fan ranking 97th with 56.1%. And he's 101 and 66th in two different box office metrics, which gives him an overall ranking of 102.
A little lower than I anticipated it would be.
Same here.
I don't know if a lot of them are high on Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb Metascore, but are memorable.
Correct.
Right? Like people know about it, but it isn't because there's some critically acclaimed film. I think is probably what we're going to find.
Mm-hmm. He's still doing work, right? I mean, he's still doing all the Chicago shows. And
Bear.
He definitely is still prevalent, but it just may be a deal where people are like, once they see him, like, oh, I remember him from this and this and this and this and this, but he's not on the tip of people's brains.
Thanks, Case.
You bet.
All right, 1988 is his first major role, so everything before that, and like James talked about, fascinating guy. So born in Ontario to his American parents, born in 1960. That's got to give you a whole set of unique lens on the world, and truly world being the intentional word choice there. His older brother is a New York Magazine restaurant critic, which will be very interesting when we get to Chef in a little bit to see if any of that inspiration came through for his role in that film. He's got an influential lineage to the point where he went to Choate Hall in Connecticut. I worked at Quinnipiac. Wallingford is where I lived. Choate Hall is in Wallingford. That's where Ivanka Trump went to high school. It is full of a bunch of kids that don't understand that you shouldn't cross the road when cars are coming through because they're a bunch of stuck-up kids that just do whatever they want. And so, like, I see Choate and I get really interested about, like, that is a really high level of education, private school-wise, and so that's interesting.
I was fascinated by the Choate thing, too, because I just am really interested in boarding school culture. One of his ancestors founded Choate.
What?
Yep.
Choate Rosemary Hall. It's the brother of Joseph Hodges Choate. William Gardner Choate founded Choate. So he was there as like an owner operator of the heritage of that school.
He's a legacy.
Yes. And there's another member of his family that founded the Brearley private school in New York City, which is a very esteemed school. I think it's where Gwyneth Paltrow went in New York, and also founded Barnard, which is the women's college for Columbia. So he comes from an esteemed lineage of educators and philanthropists.
So he's had to work for everything, is what you're telling me, right? He's just really had to.
Yep. I mean, basically was raised in a coal mine. Yep.
He had to wait tables in Hawaii like Chris Pratt to get out there, you know.
Exactly. Hustling for every dollar. Mm-hmm.
The only time I've ever heard the word choate before tonight, it was always when you were calling somebody a choate, and it was a derogatory. I was like, what is this all about?
Now you know where it comes from. There you go. Choate.
Bunch of choates.
The Joseph Hodges Choate that you had mentioned was the one who President McKinley made the ambassador to the UK. So it was his brother who founded Choate Rosemary Hall. It's like the family you learned about on that like Gilded Age show on HBO. Like they're just fucking loaded.
It is.
I'm like creating the show notes to. I'm just like, there's another one. There's another one. I can't leave any of this out. It's so good. So to that, his childhood was spent in Asia and DC. He's all over the place as a kid, seeing things that most kids probably can only dream of. He's a Commanders and Red Sox fan, so I imagine that's going to play a role in James's rating later as a Yankees fan. We'll see where that goes.
That did hurt his score. You just said that like it was like I got kicked in the stomach.
Forget it. Can't forget it now. He said that he got inspired by acting when he first saw a 20-minute drunken monologue from Morgan Freeman in a play when he was 9 years old. That got him interested in acting. I mean, there are much worse actors you can get inspired by. That's cool.
Yeah.
You go see a young Morgan Freeman, and then he gives this like incredibly emotional, as a 9-year-old watching that and be like, yep, I guess I'll just do that for the rest of my life. Pretty lucky crossing of the stars there.
Yeah, boarding school in Carbondale, Colorado. He studied drama at Tufts University in Boston, where he met Hank Azaria, which is who, my understanding is he did a lot of theater with Hank early on. And his career started off Broadway, where like a lot of the actors we covered. So,
you know, we talked about like how prominent his family was in politics, and his father obviously was ambassador for 3 different terms of presidents in a row. And he had mentioned that, like, you know, he traveled around so much, but at that point he was already into drama because of, you know, watching a young Morgan Freeman. And he said that when you're that young, you can't really make friends. And so he said that drama was kind of gave him stability in his childhood. It was something of a survival mechanism, and that gave me a subculture I could plug into wherever I was ending up in the world. And I'm like, well, that's pretty cool. It's like,
interesting.
Yeah, it might be in Pakistan, but you guys like acting too. Cool. Let's do a play or something like that.
Cross-cultural boundaries with that. That's cool.
Yeah.
All right. His first role was on an episode of The Equalizer, big show in the 80s there. Like, it's just huge as your first show. And then, of course, Miami Vice, #1 new show, 1988, playing Speed Styles. You're on Miami Vice, man. That's a big deal in the 80s.
Do you think he was wearing socks? Or was he like everybody else, just wearing loafers and no socks and sunglasses inside?
He was a drug dealer in the show. He did not have a lot of lines. He didn't really know what to do. The director was like, what do you think the backstory should be? And so he chose that the backstory was that this guy was kind of a nerd. And so he's on Miami Vice where everyone looks all cool and he's wearing a bow tie and glasses.
Oh, that's fantastic. I feel like he wears a lot of bow ties.
I mean, he can play a sophisticated character pretty well, so it would not shock me at all.
In the lineage.
Mm-hmm. He's a Choate. Come on, man.
Do you think the person who did the costume design on Miami Vice was like insulted when he said he was going to do that?
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't have any of that shit. What are you looking for?
We're well known for being incredibly fashionable.
You want a bow tie? I don't think they're in Miami right now.
Am I a joke to you?
I have shirts with yachts on them. What do you want? Well, his first major role, 1988, is a movie we talked about on the Harrison Ford episode. Working Girl, played Lutz. And Cori, our guest Munson, drew this one.
I was thrilled to get this one. If you were a little girl in the 90s, this movie was everything. I still remember when Carly Simon won the Oscar for Let the River Run. Damn, this movie is so good.
It's good.
It's well crafted. It is the perfect length. It's got a great aesthetic. Now it looks vintage and retro, but back then people were like, dressed to the nines. Oliver Platt was 28 when he filmed this movie. And I looked that up because Oliver Platt at once looks 40 for his whole life and also 28 his whole life. Like he's one of those.
Yeah.
His character's name is Lutz, which is short for David Lutz, and he plays one of the old school brokers in the 80s that sit at a call desk and scream out orders. Today, his character would probably be dressed in a 3/4 zip up vest. But back then, his costuming was fantastic. He was wearing suspenders and a tie, no jacket. And he calls Melanie Griffith's character Tess. He calls her Tessie, which to me is the perfect combo of patronizing and irritating. He looks completely cheesy. He sets her up on this quasi professional development conversation with a guy who ends up being a total douche.
Or Choate, either one.
Total Choate.
That gentleman is played by Kevin Spacey. His characterization is probably very similar to some of the young people he grew up around who ended up at the desks of Shearson Lehman doing that work. And so, I don't know, he comes by it honestly, I'm sure, that character. It's a short role. You only see him in 2 scenes. He ends up getting humiliated by Melanie Griffith's character. But like the movie, every scene is power-packed with really great dialogue, really interesting visuals, and just a really nice arc towards the climax of the film. If I may be so bold, I would assume that men might skip over this movie because they're like, oh, it's a girl film,
No, it's awesome.
Yeah.
That's why I love this podcast, guys. That's why I love you guys. It is a great film. I think Oliver Platt is the perfect character actor in that he brings himself to every role. You see the same Oliver Platt kind of mannerisms, but he does enough where he's really interesting to listen to and you're curious about what he's going to do with a role. I think the way he speaks, even in this short introduction to him in Working Girl, the way he talks is kind of musical. It's definitely theatrical, but it's not forced. So yeah, I love this film. I think he's a really bright spot in it, in a constellation of bright spots. But yeah, he does a lot with his 2 scenes.
Yeah, I wrote for this film on the Harrison Ford episode because it was so much different than a lot of the stuff Harrison Ford was doing at the time. Case's favorite actor, for those who haven't listened before.
One of the things that I find interesting about Oliver Platt and his roles for his career is he's a master accessorizer.
Absolutely. It's the suspenders.
Okay. All right.
Very distinct.
Oliver Platt also has great hair, a great head of hair.
Yeah.
Makes him ageless. He can play up, he can play down in age because he has that really awesome head of hair.
He's got the Paul George hairline. It hasn't moved from 3 inches above his eyebrows his whole life.
That's right.
A genetic gift.
Good movie. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. A lot of good actors.
Fun fact, they are doing a musical right now. They're in previews. If you are familiar with Jojo Levesque, Boston's own, who sang Get Out, Leave right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, of course.
So Jojo is playing Tess in previews. And the music was done by Cyndi Lauper.
Oh, cool.
Good start. Thank you, Cori. Appreciate you tackling first major role. It's a fun one. We've got up until 07, so 88 to 07 here, a lot of stuff from him. So he's very busy in the 90s, right? In a lot of movies. So first one, Flatliners, 1990, plays Randy, ensemble cast in this one. Case, my first time ever seeing this. Dark fucking movie. It's about death, but I did not anticipate it would be as dark as it was. It was a hard watch.
Really good cast, too. And all those guys, Kevin Bacon, Julia Roberts, Kiefer Sutherland, they were all of their popularity, too. All those actors in one movie is really impressive. And is he the only member of that crew that didn't?
Yes, he's the only one who doesn't flatline because he's skeptical the whole time. He's the one, he's basically the snitch who's waiting to snitch of the group the whole time.
But he's got a nice tape recorder for an accessory.
Yes, he does.
It's a fun movie. Joel Schumacher made it. Really well-made movie.
Is it as good as the 2017 remake?
Yeah, it's probably a little bit better than that.
With Nina Dobrev?
And by little, I mean substantially better.
Elliot Page.
Yeah.
That is the only Flatliners I've ever seen, and that was a rough ride.
No, this is substantially
I
better.
didn't go back for this.
Yeah, this is better.
I'm sure it is, but not really a world I want to spend a bunch of time in.
No. Flatliners works with Kiefer. We're going to talk about Kiefer again, another role here in a couple years. Beethoven, I think first time working with Stanley Tucci as Harvey. They're the two dog nappers in Beethoven, right? Alongside Bonnie Hunt as well.
Yes, and I love their performance in this movie. It's a movie for children.
They're fun.
And they do not make the dog nappers incredibly scary at all. They're like bumbling slapstick humor, and I enjoyed it very much.
Is it kind of like a Home Alone type of criminal?
Yep.
Yeah, you're not scared of them at all. When you see kind of how intentionally like children focused and formulaic the movie is, you're like, oh, all right, that's what I would want the bad guys to be like.
Classic family film.
Given he worked with him on The Impostors in a few years, I had a feeling he had a good experience with Tucci, since Tucci directed that film. It's been a long time since that Bonnie Hunt episode. Shout out to Bonnie. She's great. He married Camilla Bonzo Campbell in 92, still married all these years later, 3 kids together. I've read that he has an open airline ticket during filming so he can kind of go back and forth because he lives in Maine. Part of his deal is I'm going in and out. I'm not staying on set the whole time. I'm going back to Maine to be with my family. Rare to see an actor be married to someone as long as he has, I feel like, these days.
Bro, and that's also badass. When I read that fact about the open airline ticket, like, that's a dope thing to negotiate where you're like, because most actors are probably like, I want more money and then like absurd requests for on set. And he's like, I just want to be able to get the fuck out of here and go see my wife and kids. I'll come back on Tuesday. I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Yep. It seems like a really wholesome family, man. You'll love to see it.
I think she is a filmmaker herself. She makes documentaries.
Oh.
Is that right?
Line up.
I feel like she's a documentarian and maybe a college professor. I was curious. Is Oliver Platt married? One of the things I Googled a couple weeks ago, I was like, he's a handsome man. I'm engaged, but hey, I'm not married yet. She strikes me as probably an intellectual, very intelligent person. I think she's a professor or was a professor at Columbia. So no slouch.
Yeah, I'm looking up her stuff and she's like, it just says like notoriously private. That's everything I'm seeing with her. We live in Maine for a reason.
I could barely find pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I typed in her name, and what popped up was their wedding announcement in the newspaper in 1992. And I was like, all right. I was like, she clearly has made an effort to not be online.
Yes.
92, Diggstown, Fitz.
Diggstown is a super fun film starring Lou Gossett Jr., James Woods, and Oliver Platt, and Bruce Dern. It's a hustling boxing movie. It's kind of like Sting meets Rocky. It's incredibly enjoyable. Louis Gossett Jr., he has to fight 10 people in one day to win this bet that James Woods has made with Bruce Dern in this small, kind of corrupt town. And Oliver Platt plays a really fun character. He's kind of like James Woods' negotiator. It is so fun to watch. If you ever see this on, it is a very enjoyable watch. It's paced well. Everybody's turning in really good performances. And when I saw Oliver Platt, the first thing I thought of was Diggstown. Great movie.
Love it.
Heather Graham is in that movie. Was she an infant?
She's the daughter of one of James Woods' prison friends.
Okay.
In 1920, somewhere in there, but she's definitely young.
Indecent Proposal, 93, alongside Seymour Cassell. First time watch for me. Robert Redford, billionaire, shows up to the casino. I'll offer you, Woody Harrelson, $1 million for a night with your wife.
You had never watched that movie before? This was a first watch for you?
No, I'd never seen Indecent Proposal.
That's wild to me, Kyle. We're going to talk about that. Wow.
Robert Redford's, rest in peace, fucking incredible actor. That was my walk away.
Movie rules.
He's Woody Harrelson's college buddy, and he negotiates the terms of the one night together. He's really funny in this movie. Once everything really starts unraveling at the end, I don't remember him in this movie a lot, but I remember Seymour Cassell a lot more because
Seymour's good. He's good in his role.
Yeah.
He's very stern.
How did the acting hold up? It's over 30 years old.
Yeah, I think he's a problematic hero.
So problematic.
And secretly redeemable, but refuses to give himself the gift of redemption.
I know he says she'll never look at me the way she looks at him. You basically used your money and your wealth and your power to like snake out Woody Harrelson. So I didn't jive with it.
This movie rules. I didn't know we were going to go this deep into it. I also think it's hilarious that he gets married and then 1 year later he shoots this movie. That's what I would do. Get married and go shoot a decent proposal.
You guys know I love the look and feel of films. This movie is so glossy and beautiful.
Agree.
And there are moments where it's almost like a dreamscape. And the only person who can hold up to that is Robert Redford. And I know this episode is not about that. But Oliver Platt, though, in that type of aesthetic environment, is a character face and kind of a larger than life speaking style that's still subtle. And so he fits in that like dreamscapey, dreamy aesthetic. He's just subtle enough, but he's still funny and picks out interesting moments. Love that movie. Agree with you totally, Aubrey.
In that scene, he goes, I could have got you $2.5 million.
Well worth it.
How has this movie not been remade?
That's a good question.
Three Musketeers, 93, plays Porthos. Another Kiefer Sutherland crossover here. I never seen Three Musketeers. Another first time watch for me. He plays the funny guy of the Musketeers. He's the comic relief. He's got all the facial hair. He's a good time.
Oh, there's another Three Musketeers movie. I watched it and I was really upset. It wasn't this one.
This is why previews are confusing and you should skip them, is because I just melded those two movies together.
Was Platt really good in this as the comedic character?
Yes, he's excellent as the comedic angle.
There's the 2011 one with Christoph Waltz.
That's the one we talked about.
Oh, and it's terrible, isn't it? It's absolutely awful.
Yeah, Logan Lerman's in it. Mads Mikkelsen is in it. Luke Evans.
This one had a Bryan Adams song that was wildly popular.
I stopped it earlier on the credits, and the first thing you see scroll up is a Bryan Adams credit. That's the first thing. The credits. So, yep. Benny and Joon, 93, alongside Dan Hedaya. He's like in the poker table with Dan Hedaya, and Oliver Platt plays one of his buddies that does like poker nights and stuff like that. So another ensemble character in this film. Funny Bones played Tommy, 95. A Time to Kill, Harry, 96, alongside Kevin Spacey and the bird lady Brenda Fricker.
This movie ages like sour milk.
Really?
I remember watching it as a younger person thinking, this is racial justice. And now you look back on it and it's just a cast of cartoon characters.
Contrived Hollywood garbage.
Is it corny?
It's so corny. The cornerstone line at the end. I mean, it's Matthew McConaughey attempting to reconcile, 100 years of enculturated racism.
Because he's defending Samuel L.
Yeah.
That's right.
So do the math on that. Like, is that plausible? Not really. I don't want to say I root against Jake Brigance and his friend, played by Oliver Platt, who's like kind of the co-attorney. He plays a character by the name of Harry. But this movie's terrible. Yet again, though, Oliver Platt in his seersucker suits, playing kind of a characterization of a wealthy white attorney, pulls it off.
You would describe the types of characters in this movie and said, hey, Kyle, guess who he plays? I'd be like, he's one of the lawyers. Has to be.
Yes.
Guaranteed.
Yes, wearing a seersucker suit and a beautiful bow tie. If we're looking at the movie timeline, if the movie extends beyond the last scene into today, this man probably has like a fun character mustache and like a walking cane with an owl at the top.
It's a walking Monopoly, man.
Yes, it's a bunch of cartoon characters, but he's a bright spot in it.
I bet the hairdresser for this movie was fired up to get to work with Oliver Platt and Matthew McConaughey. That's some serious heads of hair right there.
I got my Dapper Dan ready to go. Well, let's talk about is Executive Decision, featuring Case's favorite actor of all time, not ironically Kurt. Is that a good movie? I don't know.
And some would say Steven Seagal's best movie.
Does he die in it? Because then I love it.
He dies in the opening scene. Less than 2 minutes in.
Masterpiece. Cinema, baby.
I enjoy this movie a great deal. Classic 90s action. It's so easy to watch.
I'm going to guess he's not a bad guy.
No, he's not a bad guy for sure.
He hasn't been a bad guy since fucking Working Girl. Halle Berry's in this, right, Case?
Yeah. This is another really fun movie, but this was intended to be like a huge box office movie. Kurt Russell's. But I remember Oliver Platt from this as well, and I remember him being really fun.
a movie I remember Oliver Platt from my childhood, Dr. Dolittle, 1998, alongside Chris Rock. I don't know if it's the best movie to remember Oliver Platt from, but boy, do I remember him.
What did he do in this movie?
I think he's a fellow academic with Eddie Murphy. He's the wisecracking sidekick, basically.
He's good in that role.
He's trying to help him in the way that you would actually help someone if this is what they were doing. And then realizes at the end that, no, it's okay. Like, yeah. I remember him from this, too. I don't know why I remember this so much, but I do.
I feel like Oliver Platt plays a character really well where he's like, hey, buddy, you're losing it. That's Oliver Platt to a T in movies. Like, hey, man, you're losing it. I'm here to support you, but I'm here to tell you.
Another classic family movie.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Almost like the voice of the audience.
Mm-hmm. You were going to talk about Chris Rock as Rodney the hamster? That's what you're going to talk about?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Incredible voice work.
In a lot of movies, he's almost like the audience's voice of like what you're wanting to tell the characters. He's saying it to the characters, but he's delivering it in a way that fits.
Returns back with Tucci, Steve Buscemi, Allison Janney in The Impostors, 98. Stanley Tucci directed this movie. Those two together, back at it. I love The Impostors. It was a wonderful rewatch. It is chaos on a boat with all these different casts of characters.
Are they literally on a boat?
The plot is wrongly accused of physically abusing a fellow actor, starving thespians Arthur and Maurice find themselves pursued by the law aboard a cruise ship. They're struggling actors who really hate this guy because they think he's a hack actor.
Yeah.
And so they spend the entire time pretending to be other people to the end of the movie where they get praised for how good of actors they are. And they feel redeemed finally because they're like, yeah, we're not hacks like, what's his name, plays the Alfred Molina, who has a great role in this as the hack actor.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Like a really bougie actor who he's been doing it for a long time, so he thinks he still has it, but he's shows up late, shows up drunk, stuff like that. So it's a really cool film.
That is the cast. Yeah, I need to check that out. Sounds awesome. And you said Allison Janney's in it?
Allison Janney's in it. She's got an accent. Like there's a whole subplot, this big theft thing going on there. It's like a really fun play on film, essentially.
Yes.
Highly recommend if you haven't seen it. Simon Birch, alongside Jim Carrey, 1998.
My question is, when is the last time you guys watched this?
A long time.
Give me a guess in years. Were you a child?
Maybe in my teens. All I remember is like a bus going underwater.
It is a gratuitous pulling of heartstrings is the only way I could describe it, where if you're a child, it's just made to make you cry. And now as I'm older, it's like, actually, I kind of respect how gratuitous it is. And it's like funny to watch. So follow me on this. You know Simon, he's the famous person from the movie, right? Simon's a dwarf and his best friend is Joe. And Joe, mom is Ashley Judd. And Joe doesn't know who his dad is. And she refuses to tell him who his dad is, which is kind of fucked up. I mean, I don't know if, like a 10-year-old, you don't tell him that, but she refuses. Anyway, she starts dating Oliver Platt, and he is the perfect boyfriend, right? He's charming. This kid doesn't want to hear anything of it. Do you remember how Simon kills Joe's mom, Ashley Judd, in this movie? It was so shocking to me. Like, I remember he hit a foul ball in baseball. The whole movie, they talk about how he loves baseball, and he plays, but can't get on the field. And the only reason he plays is because they can't throw a strike to him because he's too small.
Oh.
And so he never gets the swing. And so one day they make it look like it's this like Barry Bonds 04 like hack of a swing. And what happens is it ends up just being like a pop-up in the general vicinity of Ashley Judd. And no one in the movie does what every person in the history of baseball has done when there's a pop-up into a foul play. And they're like, hey, heads up. They just let it fucking clock her in the head. And she dies instantly. It's just like...
Are you joking?
I swear, like, boom, dead on the ground. They make you think he hit like a home run. It's like it just got over the fence and like bopped her on the head. No one said anything, which has never happened in the history of the sport. And she just quietly gets hit on the head, out cold. End of her being alive. And so Oliver Platt, it ends up being the adoptive father of Simon's best friend, who Simon killed his mother. Kyle, the bus scene you mentioned does not advance the plot at all. The school bus crashes into like a river.
Yeah, I remember that.
and the guy got pulled out. It's just like, hey, imagine if this kid had more hardship in his life. Isn't that crazy? Just it's funny to watch. And then Jim Carrey ends up being his best friend who he killed the mother of. The narrator is Jim Carrey, and it's him as an adult. It's a wild movie to watch as an adult.
This is why I love this podcast, because outside of our reviews, we don't put any controls on what people watch. And so it's fascinating to see, like, James is like, yeah, I'll fucking watch Simon Birch. I'll rewatch that shit. Like, let's go.
Because I don't think I've seen that since I was in like 6th grade.
It sounds like a Lifetime movie that got studio financing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were like, let's just fucking go for it.
Yeah, it's $20 million for that story I just told. That's the budget for the movie. $20 million.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Big budget.
This is what people came for, James, to hear you trash Simon Birch fucking almost 30 years later. I love this.
That was not on my bingo card tonight.
3 to Tango plays Peter in 1999 alongside Nev Campbell, Matthew Perry. It's a story where Oliver Platt's actually gay and Matthew Perry isn't, but Matthew Perry has to pretend to be gay. And so then Oliver Platt pretends to be straight because Matthew Perry's trying to swing a deal, do some things. It's a stupid movie. I don't know if my life got any better by watching it, to be honest.
No.
I watched it again in prep for this because I got it confused with the movie Threesome. And I was like, is this another threesome film?
Not quite.
No, it's a gay caper.
Yep.
Another concept that ages like milk.
Yes.
The only way that works is if you're in the birdcage. Every other gay for pay caper is an abject disaster. Hindsight shines a negative light on those films.
Written from outside the community, right? Pretending to understand said community.
Can you imagine that studio pitch? Listen to this. Imagine it.
Matthew Perry's not going to be gay, but he's going to pretend to be gay.
Exactly. For 1 hour and 45 minutes.
99 Bicentennial Man plays Rupert. This is one I didn't get a chance to get around to, but it shows up in his top 4 on IMDb. So I assume he's got an interesting role. I don't know. Somebody tell me. I know it's a Robin Williams film with robots and shit.
All I remember is the cover for this. I don't even know if I ever saw this movie.
Yeah. Has anybody seen it?
If I did, it was enough for me to remove it from my memory.
Life and Times of Andrew, a robot purchased as a household appliance programmed to perform menial tasks.
This movie looks odd. That's why I've never watched it. Every time it's ever come across, I'm just like, never mind. I don't want to do this.
This is another example of a preview being bad because this movie could be incredible.
It could be.
He looks like he might be a scientist or something in this because he's in this still on their IMDb with the 2 robots where he's like creating shit. So I don't know, maybe like a mad scientist type character.
Wonder what his accessory is in this movie.
It is directed by the guy who directed Harry Potter, so could be great.
You mean Chris Columbus?
Yep, Chris Columbus.
He did Home Alone as well, right?
He did.
Okay.
He did.
All right, this is what we really came for. 1999 creature feature, like Placid, baby. Oliver Platt plays the hotshot, cocky guy who swims with alligators, who's coming to prove there's a gator in that lake. Aubrey, I think the people want to hear.
Okay, everyone sit down. Gather around. We call this in my classroom. This is story time with Mr. McKay. I watched this movie as a young person. I was 12 when it came out, and I saw it sometime around that time, a very impressionable time. And it made quite the mark. I have had this movie written on my heart for 20-something years. Haven't seen it in quite some time, but I've had it written on my heart in a long time. Seen, I think, every sequel almost. I haven't seen Lake Placid and Anacondas or whatever, but I've seen, I think, most of the other ones. And I like all those just fine. Rewatching this one, I was very excited. And then it became very disappointed very quickly.
It's not the same as when we were kids, man. It's just not.
No, man.
Oh.
I want to watch the Lake Placid movie that Oliver Platt was in.
Yes.
I do not want to watch the Lake Placid movie that literally every other character was in. This movie gets wrong what sometimes happens when people make movies like this. And you really have 2 choices. You can either play it straight and be like, we're going to make a straight up horror movie where there's a giant alligator and it kills people. Or you're going to make a really campy horror movie about a giant alligator that's killing people. You can't do both. You got to have one. And my experience with these movies tells me that you always have to have the campy one because the serious one never works, other than Jaws. One of my other takeaways was that Oliver Platt playing this like really like cocky, like awesome dude that shows up and does all these great things and all the women love him. I thought that was odd, but based off of what he's been saying, I don't know, maybe it's not. I don't know. I thought that was part of the bit. Like, oh, okay, that's what we're doing.
Daddy energy, you know?
Yeah, Oliver Platt shows up and the most beautiful woman in the movie is like, yeah, let's have sex in this tent. But I'm here for that type of movie. That's the type of movie I want to see.
That was the future I was hoping for when I was a child.
It gives very little of that.
So worse than Alligator with Robert Forster?
Oh, yeah. I'd rather watch Alligator with Forster.
I would say that.
Okay.
I'm not a huge fan of that movie, but yes, Alligator's better. It knows what it's doing.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Aubrey. I sat on this couch over here. I watched it the one night, and I just remember being like, I'm kind of disappointed. The phase of being a kid is wore off. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it's shocking. A giant alligator attack movie is less good when you're 38 than when you were 13.
Yeah, but Deep Blue Sea was awesome and it's still awesome. So, like, it can hold up.
You know, what are we comparing here? Deep Blue Sea is the greatest movie of all time.
I mean, that's what I thought of when you said do one, right? So, I think maybe the most interesting part of this is it's supposed to be in Maine. Maybe this is what got him all excited about moving to Maine.
It might be. Looking at some stills on this, he's got legendary accessories too. I'm seeing some cool wraparound sunglasses. I see it almost looks like a shark tooth. He's rocking it here. I love it.
He's definitely got flair.
Yeah.
All right, the Millennium hits 2000, Ready to Rumble. He plays Jimmy King alongside David Arquette, a movie we trashed on the David Arquette episode. He's supposed to be a wrestler taking on WCW professionals.
How do you judge the acting in a movie like this where it's like the comedy's like insulting to you as someone with a brain? It's like fart jokes and like shit like that. Like, how do I judge the acting? I don't know, man.
Did you think he pulled off a convincing Southern accent, James?
No. But the thing is, I liked him as the king. It's just, you're in a stupid movie. Like, what do you want me to say? You know?
I go to the physically imposing side of like, can you frame Oliver Platt as a competitive wrestler in what is effectively the WCW? Doubtful.
I thought that was kind of funny because it's like, there's like actual Diamond Dallas Pages in the movie. Like, God, that guy's behemoth.
Sting, like all them. Yeah. Goldberg is his boy.
Yeah, I just think a lot about the industry during this time. So I had just graduated from college, and I think this is when we thought people like Neve Campbell and David Arquette were bankable movie stars.
Yeah.
And at the time, you could sell a picture and get those people cast and put them in the center of your movie poster and make money. We were still going to Blockbuster. So you could look on a Blockbuster shelf. There were people that picked up Ready to Rumble. Diamond Dallas Page fans were like, yep.
That's true.
I have heard about this. You know, it was a different industry, and I think they were cooler with maybe niche releases. I don't know. That's the only excuse I got.
Wrestling was so big at the time, too, so you're banking on just like...
Yes.
Learned so much about David Arquette that I could tell you this was a fucking passion project for this man. He could not have cared more about this movie. It sucks, dude. I don't know what to say, man. I've said nice things about David Arquette on his episode, but not an enjoyable movie.
West Wing played Oliver, 8 episodes, got an Emmy nomination, so his first significant awards recognition in his career from 2001 to 2005. Any West Wing fans on the pod?
Oh, yes.
Is this his first TV work?
Notable since Equalizer and Miami Vice.
Yeah, since the Equalizer.
Yeah.
The Equalizer.
Interesting.
Has anybody watched the episodes that he's in? Or do we have any West Wing people that have watched it all the way through?
Rigby isn't here anymore, so.
This is my list of shame.
Okay. I got to tell you, Gen Zers think the West Wing is gross schlock. They hate it. I got into an argument with my stepson about this. He's like, this is when we thought the Clintons were going to save us. Like, so negative. And I was like,
oh, man. All right. He's got some points. All right.
Valid.
Let's hear him out.
I found myself like emotional. I was like, Xavier, name one policy. It was horrible. It was a really bad Saturday morning.
Yeah.
But I got to say, okay, so here's why the Oliver Babish character is like, okay, so there are 3 attorneys that work on behalf of the White House. The 3 attorneys are John Larroquette, who plays this incredible character that's mean and everybody's scared of him, but he's brilliant. Oliver Babish, played by Oliver Platt. And then the third one is Matthew Perry is the third one.
Star of 3 to Tango.
So you have this trio of incredibly interesting people to watch. And Oliver Babish kind of is paired in The West Wing with Stockard Channing, not as a romantic pairing, but as like foils of each other. And so you see them in all these scenes where he's like, Abby, she's the wife of the president. Abby, you got to get your shit together, basically. It is phenomenal. Again, Case, great accessory. He has beautiful suits. His hair looks unbelievable. And he has this line.
Now I gotta look it up.
Where he's like, I didn't read about it in Le Monde, which is like this ritzy newspaper that's read in Europe. The way he says it is just so snotty and hilarious. And now that I know about his background, it totally makes sense. He can say that with ownership.
Yeah.
That he reads Le Monde. Say what you want, Gen Z, about the West Wing. It is a time baked into the late 90s that I miss so much. And I am one of those weirdos.
We still had hope.
Oh, we still had hope. We still believe social policies.
We thought we could actually accomplish things.
Yes,
Yeah.
social policies could exist alongside other policies that were a little bit more practical. Like his role in this, again, just a strong delivery of a performance. Interesting to watch because he is so musical in the way he approaches his language. Like his patterns are really interesting to listen to. His voice is really interesting to listen to. It really works with Aaron Sorkin's dialogue. I don't even know that Aaron Sorkin was writing for The West Wing at this point because he took a break. But he really sits in this show really nicely. And you can tell he was having fun with his role. Only 8 episodes, but so, so good.
I think he's a good pairing with Sorkin.
Yeah.
Part of it is because he is a bit of a chameleon, can kind of blend into anything. But I think the idea of Oliver Platt just working with him is super interesting to me. It makes sense.
My 2 notes for this, Case, to your point earlier, technically he was in the show Deadline from 2000, 2001 before this.
Okay.
13 episodes of that. So I think that was his first big TV work. West Wing came after that. And the other thing, looking up his photos, as somebody who grows one not advertently, which is a goatee, I've noticed he rocked the goatee quite a bit in the 90s. Like that was the 90s and 2000s. Platt was a goatee guy.
Yeah.
Might have made it a thing. I don't know. It's not a thing anymore, I can tell you that. Pieces of April, 2003. It's like an indie project. Anybody else see Piece of April?
Yeah.
Weirdly enjoyable.
Yeah.
Katie Holmes.
Got some awards, right?
Yeah.
Thanksgiving movie.
One of the few Thanksgiving movies out there. It's low budget. It's super endearing.
Just a warm little family piece. Very of the 90s. So like Katie Holmes has like purple stripes in her hair and has like braided pigtails. It's very manic pixie dream girl welcomes her family to a crummy little apartment. Let's see what happens next. It's good.
Was nominated for an Oscar for Patricia Clarkson in her supporting role, and Oliver Platt plays her dad in the movie. I think it's worth checking out. It's only like 85 minutes long. Typical indie film. It's pretty short. Pretty good. Kinsey plays Herman alongside Laura Linney and John Lithgow. One I didn't get a chance to around to. Liam Neeson, I know, is the lead in this. But having seen Oliver Platt in other types of projects like this, I would imagine he's probably pretty good in this too. I did watch Professor Marston and the Wonder Women. I rewatched that. But I have a feeling they're probably similar vibes exploring human sexuality in their own ways. Huff played Russell, TV show, 25 episodes from 2004 to 2006, 2 Emmy noms and 1 Golden Globe nom. Just recognizable just for the fact there's more Emmy and Golden Globe nominations there. So he's getting it on the TV side, not on the film side, basically, is the point I'm trying to make. 2006, he made his Broadway debut and got a Tony nomination in a performance of Shining City. That's big to me, especially if somebody who dabbles in that world and you get recognized by the Tonys. All right, largest audience gap. The movie that 3 of us saw today that is just driving up the algorithm. Martian Child plays Jeff alongside Angelica Houston, 2007, and Aubrey has it.
I had never heard of this movie. It is 2007 movie directed by a person I've never heard of either. Minno
Miges?
Yeah, I don't
know.
It stars John Cusack, Amanda Peet, who I've seen quite a bit of through this whole thing. And it's basically a widowed science fiction writer considers adopting a 6-year-old outcast who thinks he's an alien from Mars. And he doesn't consider it, he does it. And it's a sweet premise and a sweet movie. I think my most generous take would be it's John Cusack finding hope in life, in the love of this really odd, strange kid who reminds him of his own kind of offbeat and bad childhood because he was different. And that in and of itself sounds great and beautiful. The movie is the worst criticism I think that I can give it is that it is very boring. There just isn't a lot that goes on here. There's not a lot going on in the sense of like, there's a lot of introspection. There's a lot of like hanging on to stuff and letting you like really kind of vibe with these characters. There's just not a lot going on. This movie didn't work for me almost from the beginning. I love what they're going for. I'm a huge fan of any movie that's going to put especially a male character in the midst of trying to help a younger person in an unconventional way like this. I love that. But this movie just kind of falls flat for me. None of it really works. I'm not a huge fan of John Cusack, so that's part of it. I think the kid is doing his best, but kid actors struggle sometimes. This kid thinking he's an alien from Mars, it stretches past what the movie is willing to actually get into with why this kid is doing that. And I found that to be a little disappointing. Yeah, this one just didn't work for me. I'm sure there's people that love it, but I am not one of them.
So you say you're firmly on the critic side of the gap. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Oliver Platt is in this movie very little. I think he's his friend and he's trying to get him to work on his book and pops up every once in a while.
Yeah.
But he's in this very little. So to say he's good or bad, he's not really either. He's just kind of in it very briefly.
I think it's a screenplay issue at the end of the day. Like I just watched it, felt like there was just something missing. Like there are component parts that I didn't mind. Like there are some sweet moments between Cusack and the kid, but the bite that they're trying to take off related to trauma as it relates to your parents leaving you, I don't think it shows you enough of that in the front end of the movie to really like drive home the emotional resonance that they leave you with on the top of that tower. So I'm probably somewhere in the middle myself.
I like watching these people. I like watching them work. They had material to work with and they did their jobs, and it's a serviceable film that I'll never watch again. But often ask myself, their teams pitched them this movie and they said, you know what, we've got John Cusack to sign on. Oliver, would you consider this role? Amanda Peet, you know what I mean? This is when they were still picking roles in feature films that were going to have wide releases. And it's because of movies like this that those days are over. It really shortens the shelf life of performance when you get roped into a film like this. And you're probably sold something a little different with more resonance, with more completion. And the editing did them no favors. The script did them no favors. It makes me feel for like that time in film. And I don't know that we've improved, but I'm just saying back then it was like glaringly obvious because these movies still got financed.
These kind of movies stick to you. If you run off a couple of these in a row, it will change the trajectory of your career, which is unfortunate because this is a movie that like, I don't find anything nefarious in it. The attempt isn't bungled in a way that's offensive. It's just not done well.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Aubrey. 7 years until our next review. First and foremost, I hope James is back because The Bronx is Burning, playing George Steinbrenner. I have a feeling alongside John Turturro, got a SAG nom for this, that James is going to have a review.
The show only works because of him and Turturro. They nail their roles. He doesn't really try to do the Steinbrenner accent, but he does nail the kind of persona pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't alive during the Billy Martin stuff or paying attention to the 80s at that time. And looking back at it, like, I don't think this show works at all without these two, because it's all about just the relationship between them two, because Steinbrenner hired and fired Billy Martin 5 times. And so Turturro's the guy getting fired over and over again. And Oliver Platt's the asshole owner. And that part works really well. The rest of it's just like fine. The main story is those two. Platt said like playing the Steinbrenner made him have like a newfound respect for him. He's like, I used to hate him because I was a Red Sox fan, but like,
that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, he demands success, and he's a dick about it, but you kind of respect it. Essentially, he's like, I still hate the Yankees, but after playing Steinbrenner, I respect him.
I was looking at some stills from this movie, and I didn't realize how tall Oliver Platt was. He's 6'4".
I was about to say, I was going to guess 6'2", 6'3", but yeah.
Which helps in this role because George Steinbrenner wasn't a small guy either. So to be able to physically jump into this role probably made it a little bit easier because of his height.
Mm-hmm.
And he's currently rolling in his grave with how his children are managing the team, which is crazy.
Nip Tuck, another TV role, another Emmy nom, this time 4 episodes between 07 and 08. Nip Tuck was frickin' huge in the 2000s.
I had well bailed on this show by the time he came around.
Was he in later seasons?
He had to be.
I think I watched the first 2 seasons myself.
I want to say 1 or 2 I did.
Yeah.
I do not remember him there.
The first season was so intoxicating, man.
Yeah.
That's Ryan Murphy for you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rope-a-dope every time. You get into season 4 and 5, and you're just in the long death march.
I met a dude on a bachelor party who told me in all sincerity that he became a doctor because he watched Nip Tuck, and he said, I could live that lifestyle and just be like a better dude. That's what motivated me to become a doctor. It has to be true. You don't just share that with someone. That's so specific. It has to be true.
Well, the fact it was shared at a bachelor party just puts the cherry on the sundae there. That's just a great little...
He's like, I just wanted to live that lifestyle and be nice about it.
Frost Nixon, 2008, plays Bob, a movie we've covered several times. Michael Sheen, Rebecca Hall, Sam Rockwell.
It's such a great movie.
Bob Zelnick. Yeah, I know Rigby rides for this. He loves this movie. Frank Langella, The Frost Interviews. Yeah, it's a good film. We're just so distracted because we're ready to talk about Year One, where he plays the High Priest in 2009 alongside Juno Temple. We just talked about a bunch of serious movies and shows, and then you throw in fucking Harold Ramis's Year One. It's not rated well. It's a stupid movie.
Dude, he said he makes decisions about accepting roles based on the role being different from what he just did.
Oh, well, this is the best example that you could find to go from Frost Nixon to Year One, for sure.
I just got to be interested in it, but I would be the opposite of what I just did.
We'll rate accordingly. 2012 plays Carl, 2009. I watched this for the first time. This movie's too long. That's my first criticism of it. It's too damn long. It's 2 hours and 40 minutes.
Too long. Did you happen to pick up on John Cusack's name?
Let me look now. Jackson Curtis. Oh, God, Lord. Jackson Curtis. He sent 50, is what you're saying?
The director of this movie was such a 50 Cent fan that he named the lead character Jackson Curtis.
That's awesome.
In the first 20 minutes of the movie, they just unnecessarily keep saying his name. And then there's a point where he's an author, he has a book, and the guy goes, hold on, you're Jackson Curtis? The Jackson Curtis? You're like, come on. I mean, Curtis Jackson, we get it.
So he's a huge fan of 50 Cent is what you're saying.
Roland Emmerich is the director.
From the research I saw, he's a huge fan, and he named the lead character after Curtis Jackson. Did not save the movie, though.
I've seen this many a time.
Have you?
I love a good disaster movie. Whoa, yeah.
That's true.
This movie is absolute dumpster juice, though. It's terrible.
Yes.
Dumpster juice.
That's a gross way.
I had a friend tell me that about Iron Man 3, and it broke my heart, and I've never forgot that.
Yeah, that's a good way.
2012 is a serious parody of disaster movies where they take components of all these other disaster movies and try to make them into one. It's like if the Wayans brothers made a serious disaster movie.
There's another way of saying this, Case. It's the Lake Placid of disaster movies.
Damn. Just cold-blooded.
It doesn't know what it wants to be. Are you going to be a serious disaster movie, or are you going to be a campy disaster movie?
I agree.
Where a limo is driving through a destroyed LA and surviving all of these improbable situations. Which one are you going to be? They build arcs in this movie.
Yes.
And it's incredible. The pieces are there.
Yes.
Woody Harrelson is there, and Woody Harrelson knows what movie he's making.
Yep.
Everyone else needed to just show up and make the same movie Woody Harrelson was making. This is kind of my issue with this director's disaster movies, is sometimes they work, but for the most part, they just fall in between two different types of movie. And so it just doesn't fully come together the way you want a disaster movie to come together. Like there's just a baseline of like, this is ridiculous. We need people to know that it's ridiculous. And there needs to be a level of fun that's being had.
Independence Day. It's fun.
Independence Day is a good example. I am a fan of San Andreas because Paul Giamatti knows what movie he's making. And that's a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And we know you're not a fan of Moonfall. So.
No, because Moonfall, never mind. The biggest mistake is it's too long.
Yeah.
I enjoyed Oliver Platt's heel turn.
I don't know if I made it that far.
You didn't. He wants so many people to die.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get to that part. Can't speak to that.
He basically like assumes the role of president. He's like, hey, screw it. They're not on the plane. I'm the president. Who's the president? I'm the president.
Mm-hmm. He's like, leave them. I don't care. Let them die. They're going to die. Whatever. He doesn't care, which is predictable.
He'd be president nowadays. He ran.
Oh, they might be listening.
Too dark. They're not listening. They're off creating 50-year mortgages. They're busy. So the Big C, Laura Linney's big like television vehicle from 2010 to 2013, 40 episodes of that as Paul. That's a big role over a 4-year period.
Yeah, it is.
Please Give, 2010 alongside Rebecca Hall. Not a movie I've seen, but I'm intrigued. This seems like a movie that's got like a really interesting cast to it. And I'm kind of sad that I haven't seen it. Aubrey, have you seen Please Give? It's got a 78 Metascore. It looks really good.
I should see this movie. I see Nicole Holofcener and Rebecca Hall. We'll be watching this movie soon.
I have a feeling you and I would enjoy that movie for sure. James too.
Mm-hmm.
I did not know he was in X-Men First Class as Man in Black Suit in 2011 alongside Jennifer Lawrence.
Did you watch it?
No. What is he just in one scene?
You know the exact moment when you don't have to watch the remainder of the movie, for him at least, because I actually liked First Class. I was like, what does he play in this movie? Because I really enjoyed it. And I went back and watched it, and he's the guy in the FBI who reacts to Charles Xavier and Mystique in a positive way and is like, oh yeah, let's like start a division with these guys. Everyone else is like, let's do experiments on them. And so he takes them under his wing. The problem is that when you get all these mutants together, Kevin Bacon and his army of bad mutants, Nazi mutants, show up, and Oliver Platt gets just picked up in the air by a mutant that teleports and then dropped. And the mutant just keeps teleporting down and picking up FBI agents and dropping them. And he dies splat on the ground. And you're like, oh, cool. Well, I guess I don't have to watch the rest of the movie. I do love that movie. It's 10 minutes. And I was like, oh, well, I guess that's the end of Oliver Platt.
You're like, that's good. I don't have to watch this anymore.
Yeah.
James, who had a more peaceful death, him or Ashley Judd and Simon Birch?
Ashley Judd, because it was instant. And I think that's the ideal way to go, is no pain, no fear, just complete ignorance to a pop fly, and then you're on the other side. I think that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, but it seems pretty instantaneous, so it could be a lot worse.
Man, him and Kevin Bacon do a lot together.
Oliver Platt and Kevin Bacon?
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Kevin Bacon in this episode.
He's in Flatliners, isn't he?
You got X-Men, Flatliners, Nixon.
Oh, yeah.
He was also in Bored to Death. Loverboy.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, that's a lot of bacon.
Kevin Bacon's great in this movie.
He's sizzling.
Yeah. Also, First Class is great, and it's a good movie for people who don't really like superhero movies. This is one of those where, like, if you just like good movies, you like this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, accessible. The Tale of the Princess Kagaya. He plays Lord Minister of the Rite Aid. This is technically a highest critic score. We've talked about it with Chloe Grace Moretz, Lucy Liu, James Marsden.
Yeah.
It's 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, this movie is adored.
Yeah. You missed in there Chinese Zodiac. That movie stood out to me because it has $171 million world gross and no other information. And apparently it's a Jackie Chan vehicle that he jumped in on, and it was wildly successful.
Sounds like a laundering scheme.
Not with critics.
All right, James, tell us a little bit about his highest critic score, which is Chef as Ramsey, 2014.
It's a tremendous movie. Chef came out in 2014, 87 critic score. I was actually shocked it wasn't in the 90s. 85 audience score. It tells the story of a once promising chef played by Jon Favreau, whose passion for cooking, you find out very quickly, has been stifled by his conservative restaurant owner, Dustin Hoffman. But Oliver Platt is like the main antagonist in this movie, and he goes to Favreau's restaurant and roasts the food, and to the point where they start like talking shit to each other on Twitter. And, yeah, it's like funny. It's like
such a time capsule movie.
And it also like plays off the fact that they both don't really know how to use Twitter because they're like kind of old at that point, and like they misread each other's shit. And they get into like a serious argument at the restaurant when Favreau sees him, and he loses his like all his credibility because the argument goes viral, and his life is fucked up in the first, third of this movie. And that, I think, is what makes this movie so good. It's just like a feel good, charming journey of, rediscovery. It's like a simple plot, but its layers run deep, right? It's something everyone can relate to. At its core, I think Chef is about the courage to kind of start over when life has gone wrong, which is what makes it like super easy to root for everyone involved. Like the music, it keeps it like light. It's like Latin jazz and keeps it light and moves quickly, and you're kind of like excited the whole time. The cast, very funny. He did the Adam Sandler thing where he's like, I'm going to make my wife the hottest person that's ever existed in the world.
It's absurd.
Yeah. It's like, okay, good for you, John. I get it. It's your movie. I totally get it. It's like, cool. Sofia Vergara's his compassionate ex-wife. Get it. Your movie. Scarlett Johansson is his like supportive friend. Be like, cool world we're living in. And then Leguizamo is his like co-workers who have always been kind of like reliable. Like they're devoted to each other, if you will. But just co-workers.
His ride or die.
Yeah. And then Platt as the food critic. And I'll say like Platt, it's a pretty good performance, man. He brings like a humor and kind of depth to the role. He stands toe to toe with Favreau, and like his smugness in the beginning is how, at least how it's interpreted. Like really, you can see how it enrages him, but it's like a intelligence, like a subtle charisma. This like could have been a one note antagonist, and he kind of turned it into a nuanced character. He's only in certain parts of it, but I was impressed. A lot of movies at this time were like spectacle, and this movie just kind of focuses on heart. It is one of those few movies that when you suggest it to someone, 100% success rate that they enjoyed it.
Love Chef. It's the reason I got obsessed with Cuban sandwiches and why I try Cubans everywhere I go. The movie's literally food porn for Cuban sandwiches.
Kyle, my wife loves Cubans, and watching this movie, it's like, goddamn, they make it look like it's the greatest sandwich ever made. The grilled cheese as well.
Your wife's got good taste. James, I really like Oliver's performance in this, especially that argument scene. He doesn't say a word. He just stares at him with his glasses kind of cocked down. And it's one of the few times where Oliver Platt is acting without using his sarcasm. Like most times it's just him talking, and that's how he fills a room well. But I mean, he's just sitting there, and you could see on his face where he's like, are you done yet? Like,
yep.
To your point, when he goes up to him at the end at the truck, and he's like, you were one of my guys. He's like, keep doing this. This is good shit. It's a really cool moment, and Platt, I think, crushes his line delivery.
I agree. It ties a bow on the movie.
I mean, I love this movie. I don't remember it as much as you two do, but I love this movie. I've seen it one time. It made a pretty good impression on me.
You were talking earlier about how cast Sofia Vergara and Scarlett Johansson. The thing about Jon Favreau to me is he knows how to paint a picture with people. His casting, I don't know who's doing his casting with him, but it's always just such an artfully crafted like tableau of human beings.
Mm-hmm.
Elf is the same way. I just really, really appreciate that about him. And Oliver Platt, and sitting in that scene you were talking about earlier, Kyle, how he doesn't say anything. It's just such a nice, balanced grace note of him sitting there, receiving all of this angry, frustrated, hurt energy. Very few actors could pull that off. The funny thing is one of them is the owner of the restaurant. It's Dustin Hoffman.
Yep.
You could almost see those two people flipped in those roles. But it's a good film for people who you want to get into commercial movies that also are artfully done. That's a great place to start.
Yeah.
Not to get too into the weeds, but to speak to Cori's point, this casting director is maybe a legend. Her name is Sarah Finn. She does like all the Marvel stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she does.
For all the way back to Favreau's Iron Man.
Okay.
Yep. CSA, Sarah Finn. You see it on all the stuff.
Uh-huh. But she also casted like Kick-Ass, Coach Carter, Psychopaths, Godzilla, the 2014 one. Cast like some really dope stuff.
Her and her team's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing. Fargo, 5 episodes of that. Played Stavros in 2014.
This is the first season, and I think the first season was by far and away the most popular. He was the local crime boss in that, and he was pretty good.
Oh.
It's a good performance, and I enjoyed all the seasons, but I think this was my favorite.
He's in his antagonist era is what I'm hearing, right here in the mid-2010s.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts his run in Chicago. In Chicago Fire, Chicago PD, Chicago Med as Dr. Charles. Still going 11 years later. I think you talk to people now, they're like, oh, I know him from The Bear and the Chicago world.
Yeah.
Like these days. So he's like reinvented himself. He's very steady because of it.
He's got kids to put through college. I mean, that's paying for his second house on the Maine coast.
Yep.
I am not a franchise TV watcher, so like I don't watch series that do that chain off of each other. But I will say I have seen tons of Oliver Platt content from Chicago Med on TikTok.
Oh, really?
Yes. He is very popular in my algorithm for Chicago Med.
What parts of his character draw people to TikTok? Like, what is it?
I don't know. I think, well, first of all, it's Oliver Platt, malleable face, interesting to watch. But in Chicago Med specifically, he plays like this genius but kind psychiatrist. And so he gets all of the really challenging patients who walk into the ER and, think they're a Martian, for example. And he always unravels their cases in a really charismatic way. It's good for, 90-second content that makes you want to go to the next one, that makes you want to keep watching the little snippets of that particular episode. I don't know. He's really good on TikTok.
Well, that's what I'm wondering, if it's coming from the show producers themselves or if it's coming from millennials or Gen Z. Like, I'm interested in which generation is kind of latching on to that character. I'm guessing it's not Gen Z because I don't know how many of them are watching Chicago Med, but could be wrong.
I have a theory that studios are hiring anonymous content creators to get their shows that maybe are syndicated in the algorithm.
That doesn't shock me.
And they're cutting together content to loop you in. I haven't watched any of those shows. I feel like I know some of the characters because of TikTok.
That was the first time hearing that conspiracy theory, and you've convinced me. That sounds like a great business model. You could probably get this show bumped up in streaming services all over the place.
Yes. I think there's real money made off of people doing cool fan edits or editing together series.
All right, lowest critic score. I know you guys like to give me shit all the time. Like, Kyle gives me bad movies, blah, blah, blah. Kyle gave himself Shut In on this one. So, did anybody else see Shut In? I'm going to guess no. You don't always get the bad ones, is my point here. Movie. So, Shut In's got Naomi Watts. And I like Naomi Watts.
Yeah.
I think Naomi Watts is a really good actress. So, I see a movie with Naomi Watts, and I'm like, interesting, right? Maybe this could be good. Now, it's lowest critic score, so that's my first indicator that I'm probably in for a bad time. But you've got Oliver Platt. You've got Jacob Tremblay, very different than his IMDb photo these days. And then Charlie Heaton, who has since become big because of the Stranger Things universe. The movie is directed by Farron Blackburn, who did some of the original Marvel TV directing, specifically Daredevil and Iron Fist, which is interesting. Here's the plot. A widowed child psychologist lives an isolated existence in rural New England. At the start of the film, her husband and son, her son's played by Charlie Heaton, get into a terrible car accident, and her son ends up in a vegetative state. She's doing her best to be a child psychiatrist while taking care of her son, and the movie's setting up the fact that he has no control over anything. She's living a life where she has no joy because she's having to take care of him while working in their barn, essentially. Caught in a deadly winter storm, she must find a way to rescue a young boy before he disappears forever. If you watch this movie, that has nothing to fucking do with the plot. That's not what happens. Jacob Tremblay plays this young child. He's a young deaf boy who is under her care and disappears. But like that happens early, and then there's a whole lot of plot development. So you think you go in, it's like going to be an overnight thing. They're trying to find the kid. He's gone for like 4 or 5 days in the lifespan, and he's not the focus of the plot whatsoever. It's got a 25 Metascore, which is brutal, and it's largely because of the screenplay. Like, it was the screenwriter's first screenplay, and you can tell, unfortunately. Yeah, the way the synopsis is framed, you think this kid disappears right as the storm hits, but in reality, he's gone for several days before anybody attempts to track this kid down. and it tries to be a psychological thriller, so it's trying to get you jump scares. She's hallucinating the whole time about killing her son, but it turns out Charlie Heaton's character, he's not in that state. He's actually fully capable, and the whole time he's been drugging his mom, and because Oliver Platt plays her therapist, who she's doing Zoom calls with to do Zoom therapy, and he's like, well, you got to stop taking all these pills. And she's like, I'm not taking pills. And it turns out her son's drugging her the whole time. If it sounds messy, it's because it is. I'm probably explaining it better than the synopsis did, to be completely honest. It's a bad movie. Don't watch it. It's boring. It's way too long. Oliver Platt's fine as her therapist. He tries to save the day. He almost becomes the hero and then gets stabbed by Charlie Heaton's character when he shows up to the house late at night. Because the first time you realize he's not who he is, because they're on their Zoom call, she gets up to go check on a sound, and he looks in the background. He's not in his chair that he's normally in. And so he's like, oh, shit, I got to drive up there and, help her out. And he gets stabbed trying to help her out. And Charlie Heaton's just a psycho who's like basically trying to kill his mom while he's got the deaf boy basically tied up in the basement. Like, this is a bad movie. Damn you all for making me watch this. Damn you, Cori, for not trading me on this one.
I'm so sorry. I didn't take the bait, and now I wish I had. I will give you a little nugget. I cannot stand the trope of the child is the villain. The only exception to that, and I'm going to tell you to watch this film, and it's endlessly better than what sounds like a hot bag of garbage. It's called The Little Girl Down the Lane, and it's one of Jodie Foster's first movies.
Oh.
And she plays a little girl who is basically faking that she has parents, and she's living alone in a big house in New England, and you just gotta watch it. It's the only complex villain character where the kid is the villain, where it really works. Jodie Foster's brilliant. Martin Sheen's in the movie, a young Martin Sheen. Forget that you ever had to watch this.
That's okay.
And I can't trade you now, but I can tell you to watch The Little Girl Who Lives Down the Lane.
A quick search of this tells me this is probably her first major role. So if we ever cover Jodie Foster, we will definitely talk about The Little Girl Down the Lane.
You haven't done Jodie Foster yet?
No. It'll be fun, but no.
What?
The wheel decides.
That's right. The wheel decides.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
the wheel decides.
We're busy covering Seymour Cassell. What do you want from us?
Oh, man. Jodie Foster is going to be like 4 hours worth of talking.
Oliver Platt is semi-believable as a guy who gets stabbed. I'll give him that. That's my acting tip for him. Let's just go right over to Case's review, because there's a Matthew Broderick film in between that's really not worth mentioning. But the largest critic gap is not the cleanse that James was talking about, but the cleanse from 2016 alongside Angelica Houston. This is a movie I watched there on that episode, and it is an experience. So I'm excited to see Case talk about it.
The highlight is it's only 80 minutes long.
Sure is.
That kicks ass, and it's paced well. So that being said, let's get into it. The Cleanse, originally titled The Master Cleanse, is a 2006 film written and directed by Bobby Miller. It stars Johnny Galecki, Anna Friel, Angelica Houston, and the star of our show, Oliver Platt. This is a tough film to describe. It's part dark comedy, part creature feature, part psychological drama. The main character is Johnny Galecki, which we all know from Big Bang Theory, as Paul, a guy who's just completely broken. He's lost his job, he's lost his fiance, he's out of options, he's just completely gone. And he sees an ad for a secretive spiritual retreat called Let's Get Pure. When he gets to this remote camp, the participants are given these cleansing drinks, and they get cleansed. Sounds like on both ends. But when they vomit out parts of a creature. And it's a little slimy, probably disgustingly adorable creature. Think like a shaved gremlin, maybe. It is the physical manifestation of their inner negativity. Once they go through the different phases of their cleanse, they are then supposed to kill the creature, thereby removes this negativity and all these negative things from their lives. But if they don't kill them, they get bigger and stronger and completely out of control, and they will actually kill their participants. It is a wild ride. Platt plays Ken Roberts, who's the man that created the cleanse. He's the guru, the founder, the man behind the curtain.
They keep talking about him the whole time, but it takes him a while to finally show up.
And when he arrives, he's not an over-the-top cult leader. He's a very sensible professional doctor
Huh?
who has this kind of subdued corporate retreat kind of energy. But he's great at playing these kinds of characters, characters who are simultaneously charming and unnerving at the same time. And then him and Angelica Houston are the ones that are really in charge at the camp. My biggest problem with this is that I didn't find it overly compelling. I enjoyed watching it. I started and stopped it 3 times. I just wasn't falling into the story. For a movie, I really want a movie to keep me in it the whole time. This didn't do it. This is the critic gap, Kyle.
Yep.
I think the fans probably didn't like it as much because it just ends oddly.
It doesn't end in how you would traditionally want a movie like this to end. It definitely leaves on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Which is why the general audiences probably didn't love it. The credit I give this movie is it sticks to its theme from start to finish.
Yep.
You're trying to take the parts of you that you're trying to leave behind, and you have to get rid of this thing. Otherwise, if you let it stick around and you don't move on, then it will continue to eat you, right? It's going to eat you alive. And that's what I love about his character is he's not manipulative. He's not somebody who's like, you can't actually leave. He's like, no, you can leave. Just give me the creature. Like, you can't take the creature with you because, like,
yeah,
I don't want it to ruin our program. But, like, you can leave whenever you want.
Yeah.
But you got to let me keep that little bugger. Like, I can't let you take that with you. It's interesting.
Yeah.
He's not one of those cult leaders who's, like, secretly trying to, like, hurt you. And he's like, no, I believe in my program. If you follow the steps, you'll be fine. But you can leave at any time. It's a weird movie.
It's worth watching. I don't know that it's worth watching for anybody in particular. I think it's worth watching just as an interesting story.
Here's a question to the other 3 of you who haven't seen it. Did we intrigue you to watch it?
It's giving off Simon Birch vibes.
It is definitely not Simon Birch adjacent project. They're not in the same universe.
I mean, I was out when you said Johnny Galecki.
Yeah, and you definitely wouldn't like it. He's the main guy.
I like The Big Bang Theory, but I'm not really interested in seeing him do anything else.
He's fine. Yeah, I didn't have a problem with him. It pretty skillfully blended multiple genres.
Mentioned it earlier, Professor Marston in the Wonder Woman plays MC Gaines, kind of tells you the story of how Wonder Woman came to being and personality profiles and the world of sexuality and how that crosses all that. I think it's a fascinating movie. I've seen it twice now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not really for Oliver Platt, but I think it's a very interesting movie.
I love this movie, and I don't remember Oliver Platt even being in it. Fascinating is a great way to go about it. It's well put together in all of the ways a movie can kind of be well put together. It looks good. There's really good performances. It's really well acted. It's thoughtful. It's considered. It's exploring something that is really interesting. It's using Wonder Woman and superhero movies as kind of a Trojan horse to tell you something significantly more interesting and thoughtful. And the movie almost commentates on that a bit. I love this movie, but as a Rebecca Hall stan, not surprising, especially with Connie Britton in it.
Yep.
Coach Taylor's wife is in it.
Oliver Platt plays his publisher who first gets the Wonder Woman comic going. That's how he plays that type of role. Great movie. Go watch it.
Yep.
Otherwise, the other pieces in there, movie-wise, Charlie Kaufman's I'm Thinking of Ending Things. He plays the voice in 2020 alongside Toni Collette. But the big one, most recently, that has probably caught a lot of people's attention is his role as Uncle Jimmy in The Bear from 2022 to 25, 20 eps, and another Emmy nom.
The movie speaks to how good of a character actor he is, because one of the things that makes The Bear great is that everybody in The Bear feels authentically like their character.
For sure.
And then Oliver Platt shows up as this character who could, if played the wrong way, would be a caricature. But he just totally inhibits his character. And he's like loving in a way that's kind of offbeat, but you get he's intimidating in a way that you kind of need him to be, but you wouldn't expect. He's perfect for that show. And he's so good.
I agree. I think he's incredible in this role. They insinuate that he's like kind of mob adjacent, like he's like a little slimy of a businessman.
Uh-huh.
And he does give that kind of menace to it because like they don't really go into detail of it, but he also clearly like loves his family. So it's in rewatching it, what I found very funny is he is a genuinely nice guy to every woman in that show. It is not an act. He plays this incredibly sincere and like charming uncle type. And every guy he interacts, it's like, oh, and I'm also like maybe a criminal. I don't know. Like I'm a little intimidating. And I think he plays that line very well.
Is this his best role?
I think so.
A culmination of how long he's been in his career? Like, does he really like icing on the cake with the bear?
All the things I've seen him in, it gives him the biggest opportunity to showcase his abilities.
Yeah.
Because he's played such a variety of different characters. He doesn't play that type of character. The fact that he is at all physically intimidating is a feat of just him being able to embody what that character is supposed to represent. James is right. He treats all the women great, but he's also like, this is a crass way to say it, but he's the big dick in the room. When he's in a room with a bunch of men, he's like, no, this is my room.
That's right.
He's the alpha.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
It's like he's got the money. He's well dressed. He's put together. Everyone's all chaotic. I thought the show went a little too anxiety driven for me recently. But the first 2 seasons I really enjoyed, even though like the most anxiety ridden episode ever is in season 2. That's the one with Jamie Lee Curtis and Odenkirk.
At the dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the dinner episode I keep hearing about?
It's like a safety movie for an episode. You're just like, oh my God, I can't breathe.
Uh-huh.
I do like Oliver Platt in this role. Like, I think he's incredible. He has a bunch of good, funny one-liners. When Jeremy Allen White and his cousin go to like cater the little kid's birthday party because his cousin's kind of struggling with drugs, and they drop a bottle of Xanax into the kid's juice by accident. Oliver Platt's line when he comes out and he realizes what's happening, he's like, what, are they fucking dead? And he goes, no, I think they're just asleep. He goes, oh, I kind of prefer it that way. He goes, you're doing a great fucking job. It killed me, dude.
I teed it up. Case, top performances. What do we got? This is where we get humbled when we realize we should have mentioned a couple movies along the way that we didn't, because the man's got a lot.
Let's go to Screen Rant, October 18th, 2024 article by Sean Lelos. And it just says Oliver Platt, 10 best movies and TV shows. But as I'm reading through it, I think it is kind of a combination of best movies and best performances.
Simon Birch.
Simon Birch, unfortunately, did not make the list. And it's because I think this guy is anti-baseball, because Bronx is Burning didn't make it either.
Consistency. That's all we asked for.
He's not bad in Simon Birch. Frost Nixon, gotta be.
Frost Nixon is number 5.
Indecent Proposal.
Indecent Proposal is actually not on the list. That was one that surprised me.
3 Musketeers.
3 Musketeers is not on the list.
Good.
Lesser Marsden and the Wonder Woman.
That one's not on the list. I was surprised by that one as well, Aubrey.
Yeah, Screen Rant's not great.
The Impostors better be on that list.
The Impostors is not on the list.
Oh my God. I suck. I'm terrible. I'm done.
Wow.
Chef.
Chef is number 6. And remember, it's TV and movies.
Flatliners.
Flatliners. It's not on the list, Aubrey.
I watch any movies?
All right, The Bear.
The Bear is number 2.
Oh.
West Wing.
The West Wing is number 1.
Wow.
Oh, there you go, Cori.
Yeah.
Validation.
Any of the Chicagos.
The Chicago Med, Fire, PD, EMT, Street Cleaners, and Animal Control. It all comes in at number 9.
What's that number 9? What are we doing?
Oh, man. Case, did your Diggstown make the list?
Diggstown is honorable mention, but that's just because I made it honorable mention. Diggstown.
It's his honorable mention. I like that. That's good. Give Aubrey and I Dr. Dolittle. Do it.
Dr. Dolittle is not on the list.
Lake Placid.
Lake Placid. There you go. Comes in at number 7.
Oh, baby.
Please tell me A Time to Kill is not on the list.
Cori, you're in luck because A Time to Kill is number 10.
That's too high.
Yes, they deserve to die.
And I hope they burn in hell. I'm going to throw Pieces of April in there, Case. Maybe it's the indie feature.
A Pieces of April is not on the list.
Pieces of My Heart Being Broken. What are we missing, by the way? We're missing like 3, 8, 9 or something like that?
What?
We are missing 3, 4, and 8.
What the fuck?
1 TV show, 2 movies.
2 movies.
Miami Vice.
Even though it is number 1 new show, it did not make the list. I can tell we don't like this list, so I'll just go ahead and give it to you.
It's just hard to nail down like top roles for him. I just think it's hard.
Yeah.
And I don't like this list.
Yes,
Well, that's fair
I
too.
don't think
That's fair
any
too.
of us like it. Number 3 is Nip Tuck. Number 4, X-Men First Class, and number 8, Kinsey.
X-Men First Class, number 4. He died. Oh, dude, all right.
How did X-Men First Class make the top 4?
He's good in that movie, no question. He's in like 3 scenes and he's out of there.
Okay.
The relationship with him and Xavier, complicated relationship with Magneto.
So the top 3 on this one were West Wing, The Bear, and Nip Tuck. 3 TV shows.
Yep, 3 TV shows.
What's the highest movie?
X-Men.
Oh my God.
X-Men and Simon Birch.
Yeah, Simon Birch is also honorable mention by James. James texted me earlier and asked if I'd make it an honorable mention. I did.
I put fucking Beethoven over some of that. Like, come on, man. What are we doing here? All right. Thanks, Case. I don't know if we've disagreed harder with a list in a long time on this podcast.
Green Ray will do that.
As we were going through our conversation, I was like, ooh, this list is not holding up.
Well, let's get into the Munson Meter. What we do, we rate every actor on a scale of 0 to 100. It can be based on a variety of factors. It could include longevity, project choice, pop culture impact, acting range, awards footprint, other talents, personal life, box office, comedy, or anything else that matters to us as Munsons. I like Oliver Platt. I don't know how high I'm going to score him, but I like him as an actor. The more I watched his stuff, I don't know if I saw enough diversity in his role choice or the types of characters he was playing to score really high on our scale. But I don't think I've ever watched a movie or TV show with Oliver Platt where I didn't enjoy his presence. I feel like he lights up the room when he comes on screen. And I think he thrives in roles where he's comic relief, or he's a highbrow character, or a sarcastic smartass. He's right in his lane in those. He plays a great sidekick. He's not really the leading man. I mean, like, I don't think we've named a single project where he was a leading man. Have we?
No, sir.
I don't think there's a single role in his career other than maybe his stage work where he's the leading man, which is really interesting because every actor we've ever covered has at least tried it and maybe failed, maybe didn't like it, and their agent was like, hey, let's go back to doing this or you're not going to get roles like that. He's never played the leading man. He's always just been comfortable being an ensemble player. I think that's really interesting and mad respect for that. But I also think that's why I can't remember him in a lot of roles over the years because he's like a working actor who does his job, reads the lines on the paper, does it well, and he's not trying to Will Ferrell or Jim Carrey it and steal every scene and drown out other people around him, right? He's there to build up the scene and help his actors. While he doesn't do well in the award side for his movie roles, he's crushing the Emmy side on the TV end. And even though we didn't like that list, the fact that his top 3 are all TV shows, and Cori was so glowing about his role in West Wing, where he's, 8 episodes? Goes to show that even in bad movies or bad TV shows, he's memorable. That's worth something to me. My challenge is, how do you score that? And I think it's hard because I really like him. But even comparing to Brad Dourif, I can't give him a higher score than Brad Dourif because he's just not nearly as iconic as Brad Dourif is in his own genre. I'm going to give him what I think is a pretty respectable 73. James, I'll toss it to you.
Kyle, I was very confident in my score until you referenced your score of Brad Dourif, and immediately it shook me to my core. I was like, oh, swing and a miss, guessed the wrong pick. We are at this point just like boxed in by our scores. It's impossible. The amount of inner turmoil I have over what I give for a score is remarkable. I think with Oliver Platt, man, I think he's charismatic. I think he brings a lot of nuance. I agree with you. I think his trademark is kind of the warm wit and intelligence, right? Like it's a little sarcasm. He has a commanding presence. I never feel like he overpowers a scene. And honestly, I think he raises every movie that he's in, every project he's a part of. I think when he comes on, I find him believable in almost all his roles. It's just some of the movies, suck. Ready to Rumble, like I thought he was pretty good in that. And it's just like, it's so bad. That's a choice. I think in his personal life, when I found out he negotiates the plane ticket home. Like I never thought of that, but that is like the coolest way to be like an actor who's a normal person is like, yeah, I'll just like treat it like it's like a 9 to 5 and fly home. Very cool to negotiate that. So I gave him a couple of points there. But yeah, he's not a leading man. And I think I thought I was going to give way higher than most of you, but so far I feel like I'm a little on par here. I'm going to give him a 70.
Cori, or I guess Munson.
You used a term, you were like, he's a working actor. I wonder why he's never chosen to play a leading man or lead a picture, be the number one on the call sheet. It's obvious that he's a journeyman and he just kind of goes from project to project, things that interest him. I miss Inside the Actor Studio for this very reason.
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like I know enough about the psychology of his choices, and I'm really interested in that. I don't even think he gets a lot of bookings on like nighttime talk shows. Do you know what I mean? Like,
there's not a lot of interviews with him out there.
yeah. So like, I think he's just working. He's a working actor. The term you used is very appropriate for him. And because of that, very sadly, like in my next life, I'm going to be an agent. I'm going to be a flack for some fledgling starlet. I'm going to give him a 65 because there are other people that have crafted powerful careers and taken really big chances. And he's just consistently performing and is very interesting to watch. I think he's extremely appealing, but I almost think he's selling himself short and maybe just kind of just wants to work. And I don't know. The ambitious person in me is going to give him the 65.
Aubrey.
That's actually exactly where I'm at. I think Oliver Platt is a good actor. I think he's a good, solid, supporting character actor. He's shown that all throughout his career, and that's something that I don't think we value enough because it's not as showy. I think he falls in an interesting place in this because I wish I could see more things like The Bear. When he shows up, he makes an impact instead of him just showing up. And because I like him, I just like that he's there. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like that is a limited scope to the people that do stuff like what we're doing right now, which explains the star meter, conundrum I had earlier where I'm like, don't more people know who Oliver Platt is? And probably not.
Yeah.
Because they just don't care about this stuff as much as we do. So they just don't recognize him. Like, I didn't have to do a ton of prep for this because I've seen a bunch of movies with Oliver Platt in it. And I remember that he was in them because I like him. But when I really get into it and I'm like, is he doing something other than me just liking him that is a good show of a wide range of acting talent? And I don't really see that. So I'm kind of stuck in the middle because he doesn't really have anything to hang a score on and be like, he did this. Other than The Bear, which he's great in The Bear, but he's also maybe the 4th or 5th best performance in The Bear. It's tricky with him because I like him and I think he could do more, but I haven't seen it. So I put him right there at a 66.
Case, round us out.
You guys have pretty much said everything. I'm not going to belabor the point any further. I just want to remind everybody he's great at accessorizing. And with that, I'm going to give him an extra point or two, and he's going to land at a 75.
James, it's not too late if you want to give him the Red Sox subtraction. Unless you've already done that, then we can move on.
I mean, Kyle, nobody's perfect. We can't just hold people accountable for all the things that they do wrong in life.
Definitely not now either.
Yeah.
But to your point, he also played George Steinbrenner, so maybe he's redeemed himself. That gives him a 69.8, which puts him tied for 78th place with Alison Brie, just behind JGL and Danny Trejo, and just ahead of Lucy Liu and Alicia Vikander. Thoughts on that little cadre of actors?
When I think of Alicia Vikander, I think of Oliver Platt.
That's a wild group of actors to be around.
Yes, it is.
Very different styles.
Interesting. What was the number, Case, our box office?
102.
Okay, so we outpaced it.
Yeah.
Look at us. Old Oliver Platt fans over here.
I would be really interested to talk to just a bunch of Gen Zers, be like, Oliver Platt, do you know the name? And then what will you tied to if it's not a Chicago show? I'd just be very interested.
Yep.
Wait, the dude from Chicago PD? Of course.
Yeah, the psychologist? I know. Are you talking about the therapist in Shut In from 2016? I definitely know this guy. It was incredible.
Love that movie. He could be Olivia Colman. Do you know what I'm saying? Interesting face, interesting physicality, really lovely voice, nice presentation, likable, affable. But his role choices, they're smaller. And he doesn't take big swings. And I think he has so much potential.
Talk about the second cousin once removed of Princess Diana is not as motivated as we would. This guy hasn't had to.
Yeah.
He's living the dream. He's just like, people like me. I'm good at what I do. I don't want to work more than 5 days a week.
I want you to Google boarding school he went to in Colorado. It's literally a ski in, ski out school.
That's incredible.
I just want to say Olivia Colman gives a great guest appearance in The Bear.
She does.
I don't see that comparison, but part of the reason why I don't think I see it is because I've seen the great things Olivia Colman has done. If this was brought up 5 or 6 years ago, I think it works. He has Chicago Med coming, I guess. And then a movie called Emperor, which is weird because it's got Adrian Brody in it, so it should at least have that going for it. Bill Skarsgård is also in it, and I think he might just be playing like a regular person. It's directed by Lee Tamahori, who has recently passed away.
Oh.
And the movie is in post-production. It has 2 writers, and one of them is literally listed on IMDb as the rewriter, rewritten by. So that's never good.
Oh.
He plays the Pope Clement VII in a period piece that I think is going to end up being really bad. His action, adventure, thriller, period pieces like this don't usually do that well.
And when the guy filming it dies, that's not good.
Yeah, it's usually not good. And that's all he's got coming, which is a bit odd. The Bear should be coming back, so he's got that coming probably too.
I mean, playing the Pope, it could be a swing, obviously. You're playing the Pope.
Can have good accessories, too.
Yeah.
What are the chances this movie never even comes out?
I know, it's giving off those vibes for sure.
Next podcast is going to hit December 11th. We've got Mike Vandevort coming back to the show. He was here with us for Anthony Mackie, Gina Davis, F. Murray Abraham, and Alan Tudyk. The list generated 5 actors. Speaking of, Olivia Colman, Judy Greer, Kyle Chandler, Joan Allen, and Jay Hernandez. The Wheel picked one of them, and Mike said, I'll come join you all to talk about it. So what do we like or dislike from that list of actors?
What a list.
Judy Greer.
I like this list.
Oh, I was about to say, Aubrey, this is right up your alley with Judy Greer and Olivia Colman right at the top.
I love this list.
Jay Hernandez?
And we can all watch that first Suicide Squad movie again.
I was just
That's
saying, I
true.
can't. What's the other movie he's in?
Hostel?
He's in The Rookie and Hostel.
Oh, I love Hostel. It's so bad. It's good. It's good. I like Hostel. All right, credit where it's.
Also, as much as I love the Judy Greer and Olivia Colman of it all, my dog Coach Taylor's on here. So
Kyle Chandler. You need him in
Kyle
your
Chandler,
life?
which if we do Kyle Chandler, which is great because I think Kyle Chandler is amazing, there's a greater than 50% chance that it's not me and Emily McKay has kicked me out of the house so she could record this podcast instead of me.
Guest episode, tap in. Yeah, sounds fun.
Loved him in Bloodline.
Manchester by the Sea, too.
Bloodline's so funny, dude.
Always in Game Night, too.
So good in Game Night.
I don't think I want Joan Allen. That's probably the one I want the least.
I gotta be honest. Jay Hernandez is the one I want the least. But
dude, that's what I said, man. I was just shocked when Kyle's saying that. I was like, we talking about the same Jay Hernandez? I'm
at least familiar with some of Jay Hernandez stuff. I don't know. Joan Allen just doesn't seem very exciting comparatively to those two.
If you guys were co-writing a blog 10 years ago, Joan Allen would be at the top of your list because 10 years ago, she was everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty sure Judy Greer was also still playing people's moms 10 years ago because that's what she's been doing for 30 years of her career.
And especially since Kyle tried to defend it a little bit, now I'm nervous. He's like, oh, accept this. No, it's Jay Hernandez. I'm convinced.
I'm pretty good at keeping you guys off my trail after doing this for many, many years. Who do we think Mike would pick, knowing his background? Mackie, Gina Davis, F. Murray, Alan Tudyk.
Olivia Colman.
I feel like he would go Judy Greer.
Corey, if you had to pick back to back, who would you go?
Olivia Colman.
It would be so good.
Yeah, that seems like a low-hanging fruit at that point, right?
But I will say,
James, go look at Jay Hernandez's IMDb.
Dude, I looked up and it's like, oh, he's Magnum PI. I was like, dude, I have not seen any of this.
Well, Mike doesn't decide. Corey doesn't decide. The wheel decides, and not me for sure, 100%. Corey, we reach the end, the mountaintop. You're always wonderful. We love having you back. Congratulations on your 7th time. We'll send the jacket in the mail. Any plugs, any wise words you want to share? The red carpet's yours.
No, but I need to change my bio. It's time for me to stop dating guys who watch a lot of movies.
I was going to ask.
We need to edit that out.
No wise words. This is always a pleasure. I know it's like a small moment, but like when I said earlier that Working Girl is like a woman's movie or like a girl's film, the fact that like all of you were like, no, and like Aubrey specifically could like specifically describe why he likes that movie. It's small things like that that means this isn't just like bros talking film, which I really appreciate. Thanks for having me. I love being here.
We love having you.
Joining us again. Yeah, for sure.
Anytime Kyle invites me, I'm there.
Oh, you're always on the short list, especially if somebody drops out and we need a quick fill in.
Yep. I'm cool with that.
Oh, I know. You're pretty good. If I gave you somebody 3 weeks at a time, you're like, yep, lock me in. I'll figure it out. All right. Well, as we wrap things, you can always catch us on Instagram and Threads, Munsons at the Movies. You can email us, munsonsatthemovies@gmail.com. Any final thoughts from Oliver Platt?
How about you take a nice long walk over a short pier and then go fuck yourself?
Munsons Out.
All right, let's go. Thank you for the education, gentlemen. We've just received a PhD in stupidity. Doctor, shall we?
Let me get this straight. He offered you $1 million for a night with your wife? As in your wife, Diana? And you agreed to it? I don't know what to say. I mean, how could you do something like that? How could you negotiate without me?
Never negotiate without your lawyer. Never. For a woman like Diana, could have gotten you at least $2 million.